Welcome to the screencast on getting started with Google Hangouts. So this screencast is specifically for staff in the Franklin School District, though if others find helpful use from this, you're welcome to kind of follow the tips that I give here. For Franklin staff, if you go to the Franklin Tech website where we put all our tech resources, you can go to the Google area from the menu at the top. In the Google specific area, look for Hangouts. This page is where we're going to be putting Hangouts resources. On here you will currently find two documents that I'm going to be referring to. The first time setup to be able to use Hangouts, and then how to also start and join a Hangout. So I've got those documents open, so I'm just going to mention some of the things that are in here. Please use these documents to kind of go through and set yourself up. So in order to use Hangouts, you have to upgrade your Google account to work with Google+. Google Plus is a social network that Google created, similar to Facebook or Twitter. And here I am in my Google Drive, or if you're in Gmail or Calendar, you should have the black bar at the top. You'll notice over on the left side, it'll say plus you. This is your Google Plus area. So if you click on that, that'll take you into Google Plus, which I already have open here. So your steps when you go there, when it says plus you, that means you haven't set up your account yet. Your first step is to upgrade your account. You'll be asked to put a photo of yourself in there, either upload a photo or take a photo from your computer's webcam. Continuing on, you'll add people that you might know. So you might see some people come up that you've connected with over email, or that Google knows that you've shared files with, or whatever. You can click add if you want to add any of those, although I'm going to give some specific tips on how to make sure that the people you add are part of Franklin School District. That'll be coming up here. So you can choose who you want to add. You don't have to add anyone. And then click continue when you're ready. Google will suggest people that you might want to follow. Your choice if you want to click the follow button. That'll just add them into your Google Plus area where their posts will show up in your feed. Click continue when you're ready. And this is important for the third step. Make sure under where do you work you put Franklin Public Schools. This will just help you be able to find others that work at Franklin Public Schools as well. Click finish when you're done. Your account is upgraded so you can use Google Plus, and we'll be going through some other specific steps here to show how to use that. So let me hop over to Google Plus. So here I am in my Google Plus page. Just to kind of give the layout here, this left side is how you jump around to the different pages in Google Plus. One of those pages is the Hangouts page. Now if you don't see this here, go down under the More choice and you should see other page choices here, and you can click and drag these icons up to this left screen. So I would suggest put Hangouts up here maybe as your second choice, right under the home area, and put circles as the third choice. And I'll be showing some different things with that. So let me go to the Hangouts page. So when you're on the Hangouts page, this is what it looks like. There's a big red Start a Hangout button up here on the top. I'll show a little bit about that here in a minute. One good tip, let me just go through the rest of these here, make sure. One good tip is to make a bookmark directly to this page. So once you're on the Hangouts page, you'll see that the address in the address bar is plus.google.com/hangouts. You can click and drag that web address, click on whatever little icon is in front of the web address and drop it to make a Hangouts button here in your bookmark bar. This will just make it so you don't have to go through all those clicks, go to the Google Plus area, go to Hangouts in order to get here. You can just open Chrome, and you should be doing this in Chrome. I didn't mention that at the beginning. Make sure you're doing this in Chrome, and click on the Hangouts button, and that'll take you here to the Hangouts page right away. So I would definitely make a bookmark shortcut. And let's see if there's any other steps we missed here. That's it for setup. For starting a Hangout, it's important that you have some contacts in your Hangouts area. This will just make it quicker and more efficient for you to connect to other people. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So here I am back in my Google Plus area. If I go to Circles, Circles is kind of like the contacts or the address book of Google Plus, if you want to call it that. Circles is how you can group different people that you want to connect with together. So let's do an example here. I'm in my Circles area. Let's say I want to create a new circle, and I'm going to create a circle for my department or maybe my grade level, and this is where I'm going to put people, organize them, so that when I connect with them it's a little bit more easier. So I'm going to call this Tech Group. And so I'm going to title this group. The next box down is a description. I don't need a description. Tech Group is fine. Under Add a New Person, here's one way that you can add people. I'm going to show you a few different ways here. When I click on Add a New Person, I highly suggest you add people to this in Franklin by their Franklin email address. So if I start typing Louise Weber at Franklin, you'll notice it might come up. It might auto detect, but I'm going to type the whole thing just to be sure here. If it does auto detect, you can click on that person's little box that shows up, and it will add that person into your group. If I start typing another one that I want to add into the tech group, here's another person, and he already has his Google account upgraded to Google Plus, and I know that because I see a picture. It looks like he's got his account all set with his name and everything, so I can click that. So that's one way you can add people, is in this box you can just do this by email address. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and create that circle, and it's also suggesting others that I might want to add. So here's the tech group circle. Now if I'm on this page, just on the regular circles page, depending on who you've shared files with, connected with, you might see these little ID cards here, and I can scroll through. It's thinking these are other people I might want to add into any of my circles. One tip here, if you see somebody's ID card, some things to look for. If you mouse over, I'll make this a little bigger so we can see this here. If I mouse over somebody that I think is a Franklin person, to make sure you're adding them at their Franklin account, you want to look for that right under their name there. It says franklin.k12.wi.us. This means that this is this person's Franklin Google account. Some people might have a personal Google account and a Franklin Google account. And if you're wanting to connect for work purposes, you want to make sure for Hangouts specifically that you add their work Franklin K12 account. So now, if I zoom back out a little bit, if I'm looking at anybody here in my circles area, I can drag and drop these right into the circle. It's a little more fun to do it that way. We're just drag them in there, and you can make your little group of department or grade level or whatever you need. So it's good to have a few circles set up just for when we go and start the Hangout. So that is that with circles. Let's take a look at what other tips we have in the handout here. This is all explained here if you need to see the step-by-step directions. All right, starting a Hangout. Let's go back to the Hangouts page, either by the bookmark or by, if I'm in Google Plus, I can click the Hangouts button. So starting a Hangout, I go up to Start a Hangout. And again, you should do this in Chrome. We found less glitches when you do a Hangout in the Chrome browser. When you start the Hangout, the box that comes up, you'll have to add people that you want to invite to the Hangout, as well as name the Hangout. So if I click here in the Add People box, one of the reasons it's a good idea, especially by department, if you're doing circles, is I could just go down now and choose my tech group that I've created, and you'll notice it says that there's 4 people in that tech group, so this will add everyone all at the same time. So that's one reason to make a circle. If you just want to connect with someone else, you could start typing their name, and if you've connected with them before, they might show up. Or if you see their picture over here, if I take out what I was typing there, I could just click on somebody's name and that would add them in as well. In a Hangout, you can add between 10 and 15 people. I think 15 is the max. So you would add all the people you want to add here. You could, if you have never connected with that person before, you could type their email address. So if I was trying to connect with somebody in Franklin that maybe hasn't set up their Google account yet, I could type in the full email address and that person would get added. So some different ways to invite people. You can also start the Hangout and invite people after the fact. I'm going to give this a name for this Hangout, Tech Group Meeting. If I check this box for Hangouts on Air, if you're a YouTube user, you can, when you're doing a Hangout, you can actually record it live to your YouTube account. I do caution that. That is a public viewable video. Once it is on your YouTube channel, you could go in and change the settings. So it's a good idea if you wanted to record something that people were missing, you could do that. Just be aware that it can be publicly viewed if you do use the Hangouts on Air. So that's an option to check if you feel the need to record or stream live what you're doing. All right, I hit the Hangout button. I'm now in the Hangout. This is the Hangout window. So other people that I've invited will be hopefully popping in, and we'll talk about that in a minute. If you need to invite people that you forgot or want to include somebody later, you can click on the little invite button here and you get the same window where you can add those people in. These are the little tools you can use while in the Hangout. You could share your screen, is this one. You could have a little chat box on the right side if you needed to text chat with people while conducting a Hangout. Other fun tools there. These tools up at the top, this means I'm talking. I see my little audio meter. If I need to mute myself, maybe I've got some background noise, dog barking, kids playing in the background, and somebody else is trying to talk, I can mute myself by clicking the mute button. If I don't want people to see the video that you see right now at the bottom of the screen of me, I could turn camera off, in which case you'll just see my photo that I had uploaded. So those are your choices there. Settings, get into some deeper settings, and this is how you can exit yourself from the Hangout, click the exit, and it actually hangs up. So that's how you get into the Hangout and conduct the Hangout with others. While if you're waiting to get into a Hangout, I recommend if someone says we're going to have a meeting at 2 o'clock, come here to the Hangouts page. What should happen, and I can show a screenshot of this, is when somebody invites you to the Hangout, if you're at the Hangouts page, a little chat box is going to appear that says so-and-so's invited you, click join Hangout. That's how you get into a Hangout. So if you were having a meeting, one person would start the Hangout, invite everyone else would just go to the Hangouts page, and you should get a little message that pops up. Or you might also want to have your email open. You might get an email notification as well. So that's how you can use Hangouts to conduct meetings, meet online, have video chats, screen share to each other if you're trying to explain something. Great tool to use, and hopefully you have a good time learning how to use it. Thanks for watching.